me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill it up engine. In my thoughts up.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below. Comment down below. Go Miami Heat. Today we're going to be talking about Connor Williams did not show up to minicamp. And I think this is all something that, we were talking about so many other different things. And honestly, we all did not expect this, but we should have expected it, especially how it goes in the league, which I get it. Everybody wants to make money. And, especially with football, football is an injury-prone sport. So you want to make the max amount of money just in case you get injured or something happens to you, whatever it may be. And, of course, it's just a warranted thing that you want to get paid. That's what you want to do. So today we're going to be going over, should we keep or should we get rid of Connor Williams? Because again, we still have Christian Wilkins. So, I think we all expected that we would have to pay Connor Williams next year. And he's making it clear that that is not what is going to happen. We're going to have to pay him this year. I think that comes at a very disfortunate time just because we still have to pay Christian Wilkins. So now it's like, it's one of those tricky situations that I think we didn't expect, but I think we should have expected just based upon, he's making not that much money and he had a really good year. So we'll go over why we should keep Connor Williams. And Connor Williams, he was basically the best offensive lineman besides Robert Hunt that we had last year. Teron Armstead, I don't really put in that factor just because he was injured a lot of the year. So I don't really consider him the same. Connor Williams played every single snap and was pretty awesome. He has a 78 overall grade on PFF, and he is 6th in penalties. He only had 6, and 9th in sacks allowed, which he only allowed 3. And honestly, the guy played really well. We moved him to center from left guard last year. And a lot of people, what they were saying with Connor Williams, I was hearing this because I was enthused, but I was still kind of not fully on board with him coming from Dallas because he actually had a lot of penalties. I was one of those that I was skeptical. I didn't know what we were going to do with him. I wasn't expecting him to be, amazing, or I actually didn't expect him to be as good as he was coming into this year. But he proved us all wrong. They moved him to center, which is something Mike McDaniel seems to be able to understand and do with some of his players, that if they're not working at a certain position, he moves them to a different position and allows them to thrive. So Connor Williams thrived as a center. And honestly, right now, what I can say for advocating to keep him is that we do not have another. I don't really believe we have a center that can really get in and play well on this whole entire roster. We would have to get a whole new center, depending on what we do with this whole situation. So what I can say is, he played amazing at center last year. And I don't think we have another player to plug and play at this point to take over his position. And of course, number 2, a center is very, very needed on the team for the quarterback, because you're essentially going back and forth quarterback to center, kind of discussing, going over what the different defenses are, what to look out for, the Mike linebackers, the Will linebackers, who's blitzing, who's not blitzing, which side to shift. The center is very important. So again, what I can say with Connor Williams with that is that, he seemed to do really good last year, and coming into his second year, I think he's going to do even better coming into this second year. So what I could say is there's a lot of reasons to have to sign him back. I mean, I think, he just really proved that he can be a very good player. He's young. He's only 26 or something like that? Yeah, he's 26 years old. Now, there's a possibility that we trade him because, again, Christian Wilkins needs a new contract. And Christian Wilkins has shown up, so maybe we put it to next year, but of course next year we're going to have to pay a lot of people as well. So that's one of the reasons why I could see the Dolphins maybe trading him, just based on the fact that it depends what you could get from him. Like, if you really think of this, if you can get a first round for Connor Williams, I know we're trying to go for a Super Bowl, and I'm not advocating for this, but if you can get a first rounder, because centers are hard to come by, and then you can put, I don't know, you can transition Isaiah Wynn or somebody like that to center, or you can go out and get one of the free agents. I don't know. I think you can make a move with that. It would have to be a first round pick. It would have to be someone gives a first and a couple other picks to get Connor Williams on their team, just based on the fact that, we don't really have a center to go along with him. But, what I could say too is if you could get a first round pick for him, I think Connor Williams could be traded, because again, you got to figure we might not even have wanted to sign him back next year. So that is another thing that he maybe took into account, that, we're more so focused on a couple other players, and Connor Williams is more of a placeholder at center. And, what we could be doing is trying to draft a center next year to take his place. And that might have been the reasoning why he's doing this, because you are getting fined if you don't show up. This is mandatory minicamp, so you're going to be getting fined if you don't show up to this minicamp. So I think maybe he saw something that might be going on where he looks like he might be just a placeholder, and they're trying to groom other people to take his place. I mean, maybe even Liam Eichenberg goes to center because, he's smaller, so left guard's hard for him. But maybe if he transitions to center or something like that, he could do something there. Or, like I said, Isaiah Wynn or somebody along those lines, if you could transition them to center, or even getting a free agent center that can just come in and learn the offense. But yeah, it would have to be for a first-round pick for Connor Williams. My honest opinion is I say you sign him back. I say you sign him for a 3-year deal. I think he is very valuable to this team. I think he did really good last year. And I think especially how the offensive line is going, you really want to have as many good offensive line players that you can, because there's a lot of ifs on this team. There's a lot of ifs on the offensive line and who's going to be what. And, is Austin Jackson going to be good, or what's the left guard position going to look like? Is Teron Armstead going to get injured, for a decent amount of the year again? The only consistent things were Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, and again, Robert Hunt is going to be needing to be paid pretty soon too. So you got to sign Christian Wilkins. You got to sign everybody that you got to sign next year. Whew, it's a tough one, but I honestly say you keep him. It's hard to find centers in this league. It's hard to find good centers in this league, and I think he has shown that he can be a really good center. I think it's also another kind of crappy thing that, we took a chance on him. We moved him to a position that he thrived in, and he's already asking for money after one good year. I think that's also a messed up kind of situation that, it's like we took a chance on you. We signed you as a free agent. You played pretty well to a position that we transformed you to. And after 1 year, you're already now trying to get the box office payment, which, some people have breakout years and then they just kind of flop the next year. So that's what also makes it tough about this too. But I don't know. It's a tough situation. I say you sign him back. I say you sign Connor Williams back and, have this offensive line, unless someone wants to trade a center and a third rounder or something like that. I don't. We can finagle a couple things with Chris Greer, but yeah, I think this kind of also puts the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes to rest, because now you have multiple players that you got to sign back. So I don't know if you really go for Dalvin Cook anymore, but we'll see. But as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Fins up, baby. Peace.